Hi everyone, this is Sandy Uziak. I'm with Remax Results, and I am also here with Natalie Wilson, also with Remax Results. And this is our first episode of Real Estate Reverb. Our goal is to educate you on market trends and market designs, home improvement and interior designing. Natalie is an interior designer and also a home stager, and she's going to be educating us and giving us some insight on that. So let's start by introducing ourselves. Natalie, start us off.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning in on our maiden voyage of this Q&A. As Sandy mentioned, I am an interior designer with 14 plus years of residential and commercial experience. And from a real estate perspective, my goal is to help sellers make their home most attractive to potential buyers and therefore sell quickly and for the best price. And as a buyer's agent, I am able to help you visualize the potential of a space. I'm also from Frederick, so that's what made me land at Remax Results. And I currently live in Westminster, Maryland with my husband and my two babies. I have a 5 and a 2-year-old. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Sandy. That's enough about me.
All right. I have a background in customer service, sales, and management in the improvement industry, and more recently in the financial services industry. I work with both buyers and sellers in the residential market. I really like working with investors, and I have 3 adult daughters. They live across the country in LA, Chicago, and in Baltimore. And that's all about me. So I am so looking forward to getting this started. This episode that we're going to do today is going to focus on ROI. So where should you concentrate in your home to get your largest return on investment? It is shown and important. We know, I think most of us know that the best place to get your return on investment is in the kitchen and in the bathroom. That's what the market is looking for these days. So in another episode, we're going to deal with the bathroom upgrades. Today, we're going to talk about the kitchen. And what we've decided to do is break it down into 2 budget categories, a $5,000 budget and a $15,000 budget. So let's go ahead and start with the $5,000 budget. So let's say you haven't done anything in your home to upgrade your kitchen in the last 10 to 15 years. What you need, it needs to be brought up to current market standards. Who sets the standards? Who's the market? That's air quotes with one hand because I'm holding notes in the other. Who's the market? The market is the buyer's market. They dictate their expectations and what they desire in a home to purchase. So if you want the most return on your investment in your home, if you want the highest sales price that you can get, you got to court those buyers. It's like a honeymoon. So this doesn't mean renovation from top to bottom, but this does mean bringing it up to current market standards. It's going to show well, it's going to appeal to those people walking through your home, and it might go a little bit quicker too when it comes time to sell. So Natalie, if I have a budget of $5,000, what do you suggest I do?
Okay, so your kitchen. Your kitchen is the heart of the home. Any ringleader in the family, whether it be the mom or dad, the girlfriend, the boyfriend, the partner, whatever, that cooks, wants a beautiful kitchen. So I agree 100%, hands down, the kitchen is the place you should invest. And $5,000 sounds like a lot, but it does not go far in the kitchen world. From a renovation standpoint, you can spend $30,000, $75,000. You can just really go to town if it's your forever home. So what can we do with a budget of $5,000 to give your kitchen, a facelift, make it look good, and sell that house? Our goal is to make it look pretty. So my first suggestion would be the cabinetry, especially if you have older, outdated color schemes of those golden tones or those red cherries. They're not really what's trending right now. So we can't replace the cabinets, but what we could do is paint them. You can take a paintbrush and go to town, or there's a lot of people out there that do painting of cabinets or do cabinetry refacing, they call it, and you can pick a paint color and paint your kitchen. So to help everyone visualize this, I have some chips. Now remember, there's a million colors in the rainbow, so this is just for reference to allow us to talk about this today. So here we're kind of looking at a chocolate and a white. You can't go wrong with that. Everyone likes a white kitchen, especially if it's small. The white's gonna make it pop. If you're gonna go dark, I would recommend this like kind of chocolate walnut color. And then the other direction you can go is more neutral. So kind of like the creams, some soft green. So if you wanted a pop of color, for example, you could do the island in the green and the rest in the cream. I would say that's definitely on trend right now, having two contrasting colors in your kitchen. But I mean, you don't have to do that. So here's some more friends, as I would call them. So like a beige and a stone. Obviously you don't have to do both, but it's just kind of showing you some complementary colors. If you want to do color, I like blue and green. They're very much on trend right now. And I think you can't go wrong with blue. It's the most favorite color internationally. So everybody likes blue. So that's kind of what we're thinking for colors.
Okay, great. Yeah, I know blue is big for walls too this year.
Absolutely, yes. You can see my raindrop behind me in my room.
So, okay, awesome. So those are so we want to try to paint those cabinets, kind of bring them up, pretty them up a little bit. And
right, and so the next thing that we would recommend, Sandy and I both agree, is the countertops. So that's your work surface, that's what your eye goes to. So we need some pretty countertops, especially if you have laminate. Those are out of date, they're probably scratched up, they're not looking so hot, and they're definitely not what everyone's looking at on HGTV, right? So we want to update the countertops, which definitely can be done with your $5,000 budget. You can go to Lowe's, you can go to a granite showroom, and some of them do demo and the whole 9 yards. So all you have to do is pick something out. Your two options are natural stone or quartz. So natural stone is your granite, your marble, all that stuff. You can't go wrong with that. I would recommend sticking with the medium to the lighter colors, just because that tends to be what most people are attracted to. Black does look nice, but it will show a grain of salt. So if you're trying to keep your kitchen looking clean to show the house, I wouldn't do black because it'll make you crazy.
That's a good idea.
And then the quartz option is popular right now. It's an engineered stone, which means it's quartz and different things stuck together. And what makes quartz attractive is that it doesn't need to be sealed like natural stone. So those are kind of your two countertop choices. And as long as you stay in like a number 1 or 2 or A or B, depending on where you're shopping, you should be fine within your budget. And then the next thing I would recommend would be your sink and your faucet. If you do your countertop, chances are your sink's going to need replaced anyway. So go ahead and do the sink, and you know, the sink and faucet are friends, so we can't have an unattractive faucet with a brand new sink. And that's something you can do within your $5,000 budget. So I would say paint your cabinets, get your countertops, and fix your faucet and your sink. And that's going to make a world of difference and a before and after for your kitchen.
Okay. And what's in terms of faucets? Like, what is the material that looks best? I mean, are we looking at brass nickel or, you know, chrome?
So I would say there's there's 2 or 3 trends going on right now. People like the brushed nickel or, you know, a brushed chrome, sometimes they call it, or a stainless steel look, especially if you have stainless steel appliances. You can't go wrong with that. It does look nice. If you want to know what's like kind of on trend and upwards, I would say is the matte black is really popular right now. Some people like the oil rubbed bronze if your house is a little bit more traditional rather than the matte black. but I'm seeing matte black and hardware, fixtures, lighting, all kinds of stuff. So I would say that's like that's the new stainless steel.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Awesome. And then I think you had one more thing that you wanted to talk about.
Right. So the one other thing we had talked about outside of the countertop and the sink and faucet, if you need to update your lighting. So your lighting doesn't need to be brand new, but it can't be an eyesore. And it can't look dated. So if you have shiny brass, it dates your house immediately. I'm sure you can attest to that, Sandy, that you know, you have brass that looks like it's from the 90s, and there's nothing wrong with being from the 90s, but let's bring it to current day and pick something that is brushed or matte black or whatever. So whatever metal you choose, be consistent and keep using it over and over again. Light fixtures are very much like countertops. You can go high or low. So pick a light fixture that isn't the cheapest, looks pretty, but isn't going to blow the budget. And I would argue that you can do painted cabinets, countertops, new fixtures, and make a huge difference in your space.
Right. And then I do want to add a fresh coat of paint. You know, no matter how big or small your kitchen is, I really do think everybody needs to paint the kitchen to get it ready for sale. And the baseboards. That's my little pet peeve. I love to have the baseboards painted. It just looks so crisp and new. I think that's really important. So, and then I think, you know, again, we're not going to, you know, we're not suggesting that we do all of these changes. If you pick 2 or 3 of them and they fall within this budget, that's what I think we're both saying. You know, you don't have to do all
Right. So I am not saying go out and do all these things. I'm giving you my 2 cents on all the possibilities, so then you can look at your home and come up with the best prescription for your kitchen, so to speak. So
right.
maybe your faucet you did replace and it's really pretty, but you need new countertops. Then don't get rid of your faucet, pull it and have the countertop guy, you know, put it in. So we're kind of encompassing all the possibilities, and you need to, you know, take my advice with a grain of salt and decide what is best for your particular space.
And I really also do, if you can afford, you know, this with, you know, if let's just say you did your kitchen a couple of years ago, and the only thing you didn't do were the appliances, you know, Home Depot or Lowe's has those great package deals where, you know, for $2,500, I just saw that the other day, you know, you can get the fridge, the micro, and the stove, you know, so that's huge. I think that's huge, and people do love that and expect it, to be honest, because that is what the market is. It's just, everybody expects stainless. So yeah. So all right. So why don't we move on to the $15,000 range? Let's say your budget is $15,000. You know, we're assuming that, you know, you're in a little bit of a higher priced home. You know, mid to upper range home. What do you suggest for that scenario?
Okay, so I'm not going to focus on the cabinetry so much in this recommendation, because if you have a 400,000 plus home, chances are your cabinets are pretty nice. And even if they may not be the most current style, we can dress up your kitchen and not touch the cabinets. Now, of course, if your cabinets are in bad shape and they've been really banged up, then that's a separate conversation. But we're going to go ahead and assume that you have a higher priced house, and as a result of that, you just have nice cabinets and you've taken care of them. So with that being said, we're going to start with the countertops again. That is really your wow factor that people see. So you want a clean, crisp look in your kitchen. So I would say light again on your cabinets, on your countertops rather. People love that white marble look. Sometimes it's unlivable because it can absorb things and not look so pretty. And so I would highly recommend looking at some of the quartz, because you can get that white marble look or just a nice crisp white without having the natural stone. If you're going to go with the in-between where you pick a granite with some spots and dots with a white background, that would be my second choice for a countertop. And I also think, the quartz is kind of like the word right now that's new in the kitchen. So it's making you current. And if anyone's, on Pinterest or HGTV, they're going to have
Right.
seen it.
And then, we as agents, we put it in our listing, quartz granite, quartz countertops. So,
right, absolutely.
And people know what quartz is. And so they're like, oh, good, it's not granite, because I just scratched this kitchen, that had granite. So it's nice yeah, that stuff goes into the listing as well. So it looks good as people are scrolling online.
Absolutely, yeah. And even if someone doesn't know what it is, if they like the house, then they're going to be looking it up, and then they'll figure out, well, I need that.
Right.
Right.
Because our buyers do their research.
Absolutely. That's our world.
Yeah, that's our world. 25 years ago, it was, just a completely different place, but now people are scrolling. We know you do it. And looking at what they like, and that's awesome, because it's much easier to work with someone who knows what they want. So
yeah, absolutely, I agree. Even if it's a difficult list, telling me what you want is a lot easier than trying to read your mind.
Right. Right.
So countertops, and secondly, I would say the flooring. So again, we don't want the house to look dated. So unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your floor plan, the kitchen usually leads into the foyer, and leads into the family room and the living room and the dining room. And you see where I'm going with this. So I think what is most attractive is having consistency. If you can have the same floor throughout, awesome. But if you can't do that, if you can at least have it in the high traffic areas like the foyer, the kitchen, the eat-in area, maybe the family room, and and then have carpet in the living room. Or some people really like carpet in like a family room, but I would argue in the higher price point, make it a nice wood, and then you just buy an area rug.
Right. Okay.
So to get a little bit more specific at some flooring options, the one we're most familiar with is hardwood. So I have a couple samples here to show. This is just like your standard oak hardwood flooring, nice and thick. What's so great about this is that, you break it, you can fix it. But it's also going to come at a higher price point. And you can get a hardwood in all kinds of different woods. I'm just showing an oak because it's a very common wood. I would say the other thing that people are probably familiar with is like a pergo. So pergo is an engineered wood, but if you listen, you get that clicky sound that isn't so hot. And
I just had flashbacks.
Yeah.
I had flashbacks. Yeah, pergo was like that echoey sound that when you would walk into the showroom.
Yes, you have the clackers, like in Devil Wears Prada, clacking across the pergo.
Right. Thank God we're out of that.
So, something that's really cool, this particular one is called Smart Core Ultra, but there's all these different versions of this floor where it has a composite or a veneer, so to speak, that is vinyl. So I'm going to call this a luxury vinyl. But it's a tongue and groove product. It feels like wood. It's got texture like wood, and it comes in these beautiful finishes. Like a barn would look like this. I mean, that's not livable if it was real, but since it's washed and all those fun things, and it's in this product, it's very durable. It's great for dog toes, kids' toys, yelling at your son because he's wearing his cleats in the room. It's not gonna mess it up. So it's a great option for sure. And then another thing that I would mention is the bamboo. So I really like the bamboo flooring. My husband is an environmental consultant, so we're very green in this household. But the other cool thing about outside of being sustainable, it is just as hard as hardwood. It's very, very durable, and it's less expensive than a hardwood. So I would say number one, as far as cost, number two is going to be the bamboo, and then these composites are going to be your least expensive. And honestly, I think if your home is going to be a family home, these might be me best until they move out and go to college.
And then you don't have any money anyway. So
right, because you're paying for college.
well, that's awesome. I mean, I think we have. So, what happens when, that hardwood I think is so durable, but stuff happens, furniture gets pulled across the room or whatever, and it gets scratched. Is that can be sanded. Hardwood can be sanded and refinished in spots if you got the right guy, right? I mean, if you have the
yeah. So if your home has any kind of blemish like that in your flooring, you need to call an expert because it depends on what kind of wood it is. So, for example, like this guy, he can be refinished. But something like this, that's just a little veneer, cannot be refinished. However, there's possible ways to maybe stain it, so put a little lipstick on it, so to speak, and hide some of those blemishes rather than just
right.
demoing your floor. So I would definitely find a good refinisher, not necessarily a flooring showroom, right? Because they're going to just tell you to rip up your floor and put in new. So you need to find someone that does repairs or refinishing. Not don't go to the flooring showroom unless you want to just pick out new flooring.
Right, exactly. Okay. Well, I think we have gone over quite a bit of information today. So I'm real happy. I mean, hey guys, this is our first show, so it wasn't that bad. I think we did pretty good. Let's go have a glass of wine.
Not too bad.
So that's it for today. I think we covered it. Thank you so much, Natalie. I look forward to our next one. That was a lot of fun. And
no, thank you. I love talking design and not just real estate. So I appreciate the opportunity, and I look forward to finding something else to chat about soon.
Okay, cool. We'll do bathroom. The next episode will be bathroom focused. So you guys take care. Let us know what you thought and have a great week. Bye.